coming at you live where the gridiron grows. This is the Alexander Scoop Jones podcast. Breaking down the GFL news coming fast. From Gwinnett County, we shine that light. Ton new football, every play, every fight. It's all about the kids. Every pass, every run. We suit up on Saturday mornings, yeah, we bring that fun. So huddle up, y'all. The whistle's about to blow. Let's talk GFL and let the good times roll.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission today, well, it's all about GFL 10U playoffs. We're diving deep into the source material, specifically Week 1 results and what's coming up in Week 2's Elite 8.
Yeah, absolutely. And the material, it really shows Week 1 was pretty wild. You had the full spectrum of playoff football pressure packed into just 4 games.
Totally. I mean, just to give you a taste, one game finished 19-18. A single point deciding who goes home and who moves on. Just brutal.
Right. And then on the complete other end, you had a 31-0 demolition, just total dominance.
And get this, the drama didn't stop at the whistle. There's actually a post-game protest filed over the minimum play rule. So, yeah, lots to unpack.
Exactly. So we'll break down how those games played out, what happened with that protest ruling from the GFL board, and then set the stage for the Elite 8 matchups.
Okay, sounds good. Let's jump into segment 1, playoff week 1. 4 games, 4 winners, but like you said, very different stories unfolding.
Let's start with that nail-biter. The number 9 seed, Buford-Green Wolves, taking on the number 8 Brookwood Broncos. This was the 19-18 game. And the source material, it really emphasizes just how tight this was.
Yeah, tense is definitely the word. The first quarter, scoreless, just a defensive battle, like a chess match.
And when the scoring did start, it was back and forth, teams answering each other almost immediately.
But what stood out to me from the sources was that Buford-Green, the Wolves, they didn't actually lead until super late in the game.
Right. They took their very first lead on a massive play, a 50-yard touchdown run. Think about that, in a playoff game that late.
That's not just points, that's momentum. That's got to shake the other team's confidence.
Definitely. It shows they found another gear, specifically for the playoff.
Okay, yeah, grit. But let's be real, they barely scraped by the 8 seed, winning 19-18. Needed that huge play just to survive, so maybe a bit battle-scarred.
Could be.
And their reward for that incredibly draining win, they get the top seed, the undefeated Grayson-Green Rams. Yeah, that's a tough draw.
It's a huge step up in competition, no doubt. We'll get to that matchup preview in a bit. But first, let's pivot to the polar opposite result. Game 2. The 12-seed Grayson-Gold Rams versus the 5-seed Norcross Blue Devils.
Right. This was the blowout. If Buford-Green won on grit, Norcross just dominated.
Total tactical superiority. The analysis points out they ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown.
Wow. I mean, when a team does that in the playoffs, especially the opening kick, doesn't it just immediately throw the other team completely off their game plan?
Oh, absolutely. It creates instant pressure, maybe even a bit of panic on the other sideline. And Norcross didn't let up. They showed they could win in all phases.
How so?
Well, they were up big at the half, obviously, but then their defense got in on the action, blocked a punt, recovered it in the end zone for another score.
Okay, so offense, defense, and special teams lighting up the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, when a team's clicking like that, good luck.
Exactly. So Norcross rolls 31-0, total shutout, huge momentum swing for them heading into their next game against the number 4 seed, North Gwinnett Bulldogs.
All right, game 3. This one had layers. The number 6 Mountain View Bears against the number 11 Parkview Panthers. And this is the game with the controversy, right?
That's the one. And it didn't start out looking controversial. Mountain View jumped out ahead 13-0.
Yeah, the sources mentioned a nice 30-yard QB keeper, then a 15-yard TD pass. Looked like they might cruise.
But Parkview, despite being the 11 seed, they didn't fold. Showed a lot of composure, actually. Put together 2 methodical drives in the third quarter.
And tied it up.
13-13. That takes serious mental toughness from a lower seed on the road in the playoffs.
Okay, but Mountain View managed to score one more time.
They did. Found the end zone again to win 19-13. But like you said, that's where the other drama started.
To protest.
Yep. Parkview immediately protested the result. Their claim, according to the source material, was that the Bears violated the minimum play rule, the MPR.
Ah, the MPR.
Yeah.
Right. For folks maybe less familiar, that's the rule saying every kid suited up has to play a certain number of snaps, usually 5, right?
Exactly. It's about participation, fairness. And a successful protest, while rare, can potentially lead to a forfeit. So this was serious.
So what was the verdict from the GFL board?
They reviewed it, looked at the evidence, likely the game film, And the ruling, confirmed by the sources, went against Parkview. The win for Mountain View stood.
Okay. So protests are tough to win unless it's really obvious.
Generally, yeah. Especially if the film doesn't show a clear, undeniable violation. So Mountain View survives the comeback and the protest challenge. Talk about earning it.
Woo. Okay. They move on to face the number 3 seed, Collins Hill Eagles.
And that brings us to our final Week 1 game. The number 7 Lawrenceville-Black Black Knights versus the number 10 Lanier Longhorns.
Another dominant showing here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Setting up a really juicy Week 2 matchup.
Definitely. Lawrenceville scored on their opening drive, pretty much controlled things from there, won 31-6.
Lanier got a late score. I think I saw that in the notes.
Yeah, a 45-yard TD pass. Nice play, but way too little too late. Lawrenceville was just operating at a higher level in this one.
And that performance is key, because now they face the number 2 seed, the Buford-Gold Wolves. Lawrenceville will need every bit of that momentum.
They're walking into a potential buzzsaw there. Buford-Gold is tough.
Okay, so that wraps Week 1. 4 teams advance. Now let's look ahead to Week 2, the Elite 8. Before we get into the specific matchups and predictions from the source material, what's the big takeaway feeling shifting into this round?
Well, I think you really see the contrast now. You've got teams like Buford-Green coming off that incredibly tight, emotional win, Mountain View with the comeback and the protest drama. There's a mental toll there, right?
Sure.
And then you have the top 4 seeds, Grayson-Green, Buford-Gold, Collins Hill, North Gwinnett, who all had first-round byes. They're rested. They got to watch Week 1 unfold.
That freshness versus being battle-tested.
Yeah.
Classic playoff dynamic. Okay, let's dive into matchup number 1. This looks like the biggest mismatch, at least on paper. It's the 9 seed Buford-Green Wolves, fresh off that 1-point win.
Against the number 1 seed, the undefeated Grayson-Green Rams.
And the stats on Grayson-Green. The analysis highlights they're undefeated, yes, but 6 shutouts, only giving up 18 points all season long.
It's almost unbelievable. That's not just great defense, it's historically dominant for this level. How they do it, whether it's scheme or just overwhelming talent, the result is undeniable.
The Buford-Green, as we said, they're gritty. The source material notes they played 5 playoff teams during the regular season, so they've seen tough competition. They won't be easily intimidated.
True. And the prediction reflects that a bit. It says Grayson-Green by 12, which, you know, is a comfortable win, but maybe suggests the Wolves hang around for a while, keep it respectable thanks to that experience.
Okay, prediction. Grayson-Green by 12. Next up, the 4 versus 5 game. This should be fantastic. Number 4 North Gwinnett Bulldogs versus the number 5 Norcross Blue Devils.
Yeah, this is that classic momentum versus machine setup. Norcross is absolutely flying high after that 31-0 destruction they delivered in Week 1.
But they run smack into a North Gwinnett defense that is, well, rested and also ridiculously good. The sources say 4 shutouts in their last 5 games.
That's right. And these Bulldogs aren't just beating up on lesser teams. They beat 4 out of the 5 playoff teams they played during the season. They are proven against the best.
So the question for you listening is, does that raw motion and momentum Norcross has outweigh the rested, proven, dominant defense of North Gwinnett? The analysis basically says this one comes down to heart.
Who wants it more? And the prediction, it reflects that completely.
Let me guess.
Those.
North Gwinnett Bulldogs by 1.
1 point. Wow. So basically a coin flip. Any tiny mistake, a penalty, a turnover could decide it.
Exactly. High drama expected there.
All right, third matchup. The 6 seed Mountain View bears the survivors of the comeback and the protest taking on the 3 seed Collins Hill Eagles.
And Collins Hill, talk about peaking at the right time. The sources confirm only 1 loss all season, and they outscored their last 2 opponents 59-7. They are red hot. Sounds like it. Yeah. And the dynamic here, based on the material, is points, points, points. Both teams can score, ground game, air attack.
Yeah, the forecast is for a classic shootout, just back and forth action.
So who wins a shootout?
The analysis suggests it might literally come down to who has the ball last. Discipline, avoiding mistakes late, that'll be key. The prediction is Collins Hill Eagles by 2.
Another super tight one, 2 points.
Yep. 3 of the 4 games predicted to be incredibly close.
Okay, that leaves the final game. And the source material is buzzing about this one. It's labeled the game of the week. Number 7, Lawrenceville-Black Knights versus the number 2, Buford-Gold Wolves.
All right, let's set this up. Buford-Gold, also undefeated. Their defense, maybe even statistically better than Grayson-Green's, only allowed 19 points all season. 19! 6 shutouts. Just suffocating.
Seems impossible to score on them, but Lawrenceville, they have something else, don't they?
They have championship pedigree. The sources really emphasize this. Lawrenceville has been in the GFL title game 2 of the last 3 years. They know how to win in November under the brightest lights.
That experience factor again.
And get this, the history. This is the third time these two specific teams, Lawrenceville-Black and Buford-Gold, have met in the playoffs.
For rivalry, then.
A true playoff rivalry. Both love to run the ball with power, but both can make plays through the air, too. It's strength on strength.
Okay, so undefeated, historically great defense versus playoff pedigree and history. What's the prediction? Because Buford-Gold's stats seem almost insurmountable.
Get ready for this.
Uh-oh.
Upset alert. The prediction is Lawrenceville-Black Knights by 6.
Wow. The number 7 seed to beat the undefeated number 2. That's the only lower seed pick to win all week.
It is, and the reasoning seems clear in the analysis. They're valuing Lawrenceville's proven playoff track record, that championship experience, slightly more than Buford-Gold's perfect, but perhaps less tested, regular season dominance.
So are they saying pedigree trumps perfection? That's a bold call based on those Buford defensive numbers.
It really speaks to the mental side of playoff football, doesn't it? Maybe the thinking is Lawrenceville knows how to handle the pressure cooker atmosphere, how to weather that initial Buford storm in a way Buford hasn't faced yet against this level of opponent in a playoff game.
Fascinating. So, okay, let's zoom out. Week 1 gave us some thrillers, a blowout, some controversy. What should you, the listener, take away as we head into this Elite Eight?
I think week 1 really hammered home that playoffs are different. It's not just about talent or your regular season record. It's about surviving these unique moments. Buford-Green winning by 1, Mountain View navigating that protest, Norcross delivering a statement. It rewards resilience under pressure.
And week 2 looks set to crank that pressure even higher. 3 games predicted within 2 points or less. That's setting up a potentially wild Final Four.
Definitely. And connecting it all, that Lawrenceville over Buford-Gold upset prediction, that's the most interesting thread, I think. You have Buford-Gold representing that flawless regular season machine.
Right. Perfect record. Amazing stats.
And Lawrenceville representing that proven, maybe less statistically perfect, but battle-hardened playoff success. History versus dominance.
So the final thought for you to chew on.
Yeah.
If Lawrenceville, the 7 seed, does pull off that upset against the undefeated 2 seed, what does that tell us? What's ultimately more valuable in youth sports when everything is on the line? Is it that playoff experience, that history of winning when it matters most? Or is it the regular season dominance?
Which path proves stronger when the lights are brightest? That's the question to ponder as you watch these games unfold. The sources are leaning towards history this week. We'll see if they're right.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see how it plays out. Thanks for diving deep with us today. We will be back next week, hopefully breaking down an incredible
Your man, Alexander Scoop Jones, coming at you live where the gridiron grows. This is the Alexander Scoop Jones podcast, breaking down the GFL news coming fast from Gwinnett County. We shine that light, ton new football, every play, every fight, it's all about the kids. Every pass, every run, we suit up on Saturday mornings, yeah, we bring that fun. So huddle up, y'all, the whistle's about to blow. Let's talk GFL and let the good times roll.